What's up, YouTube? Welcome back. What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. So, last night was the fourth Democratic debate, and I just gotta say, I was thoroughly impressed by Andrew Yang last night. I'm not an easy guy to please, man, but I really feel like last night he came alive. He did what we've really wanted him to do. Honestly, that's the best you're ever gonna do in that type of a scenario. You know what I mean? Like this is him literally live on stage in the biggest moment of his career, you know, fighting for his political life, and he crushed almost every single question up there. I want to talk about it. I want to talk about what's good. I want to talk about the takeaways, really, because I don't want to go through question by question, because like I said, he really did a phenomenal job. And I think I might actually do for this particular debate is go through his individual responses and make individual videos, because they were so strong. The responses were so strong, and it was so unique. Last night was just incredibly different because I don't know. Like I can't complain about the media after last night. They treated him fairly. They actually asked him questions. They gave him an opportunity to actually display his policies. They let him differentiate himself. Like, come on, guys, let's give it up. The only complaint I have from the media side is that the debate was not available on YouTube once again. You know, this is a bias. You know what I mean? It's obviously leaning towards people who are sitting at home watching it on TV, cable, and things like that. Personally, I guess I have it on TV. I have a TV hooked up, but I don't even remember how to use it. Like, I've literally been using internet TV for so long. If you asked me to put a football game on, I'd be like, if it's not on YouTube or Hulu, I don't know what I got for you, man. But yeah, I mean, I was blown away by these questions. I mean, in the first couple of debates, they just act like Yang wasn't there, you know, which was probably the strategy you want to go. And over the last couple of weeks, we've been seeing it where Yang has been given a lot of opportunity to speak. And honestly, if he can't win the nomination off of what's happening right now, then he just can't win, because this is the ideal situation. I mean, I literally see Andrew Yang pop up on my feed 2 or 3 times a day. You know what I mean? I think there was maybe one day last week where I really didn't have any Andrew Yang news, but I could have probably done a video every single day, because they are giving him that much attention, and he's the only one. To the point where I was like, okay, wait a minute. Maybe it's just because I'm paying attention to Andrew Yang that I'm seeing so much. So I started going online like, okay, let me look at Elizabeth Warren. No, she didn't really have anything going on. Cory Booker, he didn't really have anything going on. Harris, Sanders, like most of the other candidates just didn't have much going on, but they continued to give Yang an opportunity to speak. I mean, he's on, what was he on? He's on Dr. Oz. He's on the Alyssa Milano podcast. He's on everything. I mean, he's everywhere, okay? So, So yeah, this video, like I said, is the 3 things that I want to talk about specifically, because I kind of group everything together, because there's 3 specific things that this unique situation allowed Andrew Yang to do. And like I said, this is the ideal situation. If he can't do it off of this, then he just can't do it. So give me 1 second to work out Yang. Of course. I apologize for my absence. I've been super busy, but I'm back on it. I have no client projects until Friday, then Saturday, then Sunday. Okay, so I'm sorry. I'm here, but then I'm going to be gone again. But I'm going to see what I can do. Like I said, I'm going to try to... I'll probably break the breakdown of the debate down into multiple videos, because I think each individual response was very strong. And I think for the sake of search results and things like that, that would be more... consumable, I don't know, for lack of better words, for the general viewing public. That might be the best way to do it. But right off the bat, you know, the debate opened up. They gave Yang an opportunity. Let me tell you this. I'm looking. The reference for this, by the way, is Gunther Snaps. I don't know who this person is, but shout out to him for putting this together. This is everything Andrew Yang said in the debate. Looks like we're at about 12 minutes and 2 seconds of speaking time, which I believe is up. I think he was at like 9 minutes or 10 minutes the last debate. I'm sure one of you guys knows for sure. But I feel like that's decent. And for the quality of the message that he put out, that's all you need. Ellen, yeah, he was on. 1 second. Let's see. Okay, so first question obviously was on the impeachment. So the first thing that I want to say that Andrew Yang did really well last night is that he put out that a lot of these other policies that other candidates are proposing are simply ineffective. Now, this is a groundwork we saw him start laying last week with Elizabeth, or over the last 15 days with Elizabeth Warren. You know, her wealth tax. She had proposed the wealth tax, and Yang pretty much shot that down. And then they've been kind of going back and forth to the point where I could tell that he was kind of putting himself in a position to hopefully attack her at this debate. But again, I didn't really think that he would, because that's clearly not his personality. But he was actually given the opportunity when he was asked the question regarding automation and why his solution of UBI would address automation. For some reason, they thought that was a good idea to allow him to put that up against Elizabeth Warren. And I mean, I could play it, but I'm not going to play it. But, yeah, Elizabeth Warren was given the chance to respond about automation. She fumbled the ball. I mean, her response was awful. And Andrew Yang was able to talk about vivid things that everyone in America sees in their life regarding self-checkouts at McDonald's and I mean, it was just like, oh, yeah, obviously automation is real. Why is this woman telling us that automation is not a real problem? And Yang just crushed it. So right away, like I said, the first thing that he really did well was just establish that things that everyone else is proposing are not efficient. Going back to the impeachment, people talk about impeachment, but Yang goes further and says, well, that doesn't solve the problem that got Trump elected in the first place. Like, yeah, first of all, I don't think there's enough evidence to get him out. Well, did he say? Don't quote me on that. Maybe he didn't officially say he didn't think there's enough evidence. I think he just said even if they get him out, it's not enough because it doesn't address the problems that got him elected in the first place, which is true. This, of course, allows Yang to go into his whole diatribe about automation and the problems of the 21st century and how no one else is addressing him, and that's what he's looking to do. Yang was on fire. He was on fire last night. Give me one sec. Where's my notes? Okay. Then he was given the exact same opportunity to differentiate himself with Bernie. Now, I didn't love this for a couple of reasons. First of all, they were asking about UBI versus the federal jobs guarantee. I made a video about this. I don't really think that those two things are in opposition. I understand the question was phrased in a way where they would be put in opposition, but I don't think that that's actually a fair assessment. But Yang rode with it. This is probably my least favorite response of all of his, honestly. I think that maybe he was a little bit excited. And based on the way he answered all the other questions, I believe he's gone back and revised some of his responses. And I think that maybe he probably forgot what he really wanted to say here, because he did default back to everybody doesn't want to work for the federal government. I really don't like that response. I mean, I think it's awful, honestly. People don't want to work for the federal government. I mean, maybe, but I just don't think that's a good response. Like, that to me is that's super weak. But that aside, he's still crushed every other question. So I'm not mad at him, but this is really just about the opportunity for him to differentiate himself from Sanders. So even though I didn't like that they put those two things in opposition, I did like that they gave him an opportunity to separate himself from Bernie Sanders. This is the second such time. We talked about the other day where he did the interview with, I think it was at CNBC, where they were talking about him saying that, or Bernie Sanders identifying himself as a democratic socialist, and Yang saying that I am a capitalist. I support capitalists, but of course, America is not completely one or the other, and we're just trying to take the best ideas from any camp. I just love the fact that they're letting him differentiate himself. And this is why I'm saying I was just so surprised that he was even given this opportunity, because you would think in a field like this, they would just let him drown. They would just say, you know what, there's enough of them up there. People won't even pay Andrew Yang any attention. They actually specifically asked him questions that would allow him to differentiate himself from the front runners, which I just thought, okay, maybe they actually do want him to win. I don't know. Maybe they're just like, we'll use Yang to put shade on somebody else. I don't know what the strategy is now. But like I said, I can't complain. I cannot complain. If you're going to give him Andrew Yang an opportunity to shine, yo, do your thing. What was the other thing? Let's see, automate. Oh, so okay, back to differentiating himself. There was the question. I vaguely mentioned, when automation came up, Tulsi. I'm so glad that Tulsi showed up. Tulsi. Listen. Tulsi was phenomenal last night. Okay, she did more than I could have possibly asked her to do. She didn't. I didn't hear her mention anything about boycotting, but there was the question of whether or not she was going to show up within the last 48 hours before the debate ended, or before the date of debate. She kind of announced that she was going to show up. She shows up. When this question goes to Andrew Yang, and then it goes over to Warren about automation, and Warren is basically saying, I need all the data. I just don't know if automation is real. They send it to Tulsi, who flies in and says, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give it to my good friend Andrew Yang. She said my good friend, or my friend Andrew Yang. She supports the idea of universal basic income, which just ended it all. Just really, Elizabeth Warren did not look like the front runner last night. I'll tell you that right now. I give her props when she earns it. She's not impressive to me, but she didn't look like no front runner last night. If you didn't know who those people were, if you just put those responses up and you saw everything, just words, no faces, you would have thought Andrew Yang was a front runner. I'm just saying. But then Andrew Yang, of course, the question comes up about what do you call it? The tech companies. Elizabeth Warren is supporting breaking up tech companies. Another softball for Andrew Yang. He hops in there. He says no. Breaking up tech companies doesn't solve the problems, because obviously tech is unique. That was, I think, the best part of that response, is that he responded that tech is unique in that, people don't use the fourth best, I think he said, navigation app or something like that. But again, that is something that people can think of in their minds and say, yeah, that's right. Nobody uses anything other than the standard. There is no second best. There's no, if I can't use Google Maps, well, I guess there's Google Maps and there's Waze, and maybe that's it. But we all know that Apple Maps is horrible, and nobody uses Apple Maps as a result of that. So, but the point is that was just such a great example that it allows people to understand that tech is different. Like, all the data has to be going into that one company for us to really get the effect that you want to get out of an app or a specific program or something like that. So when that comes up, Yang crushes it again, in that breaking up the companies doesn't solve the problems. And then he, of course, threw in the screen time thing in there about how, it's causing anxiety and depression among young adults and things like that. And that doesn't, and breaking up the tech companies doesn't address that. Now, admittedly, it wasn't probably the best way to bring that up, but it just shows you that Yang is just thinking on a different level than everybody else. And that is the second point that I'm going to talk about, which is not only did he show that everyone else is, or many of the other candidates, or specifically the front runner, except for Biden. He didn't get to go at Biden, really. Which is a little bit disappointing, but I think we all know that he doesn't need to do much for Biden. We'll just wait it out. Biden don't self-destruct this thing himself, so we're not worried. But I'm sorry, I'm not meaning to ignore you guys. I'm just reading my notes right now. But yeah, the second thing really is that he differentiated himself. It kind of goes back to showing that everyone else's policies were ineffective, but now he's differentiating himself. for them to give him the opportunity to distinctly say that he's supporting UBI and everyone else is supporting something else. I don't know why they would give him that opportunity unless maybe they kind of want him to win, or maybe they kind of like the idea. I can't say anything negative about someone asking him a question about allowing him to differentiate UBI from the other policies being offered by other candidates. Though I thought it was interesting, they didn't really let him put UBI up against Harris's. I don't know what she calls it. Her is it a earned income tax credit? She's going to take up $6,000. That would have been a fair juxtaposition of two different ideas. I didn't like that it went up against Bernie, but I'm not complaining. I like that they put him up with front runners instead of, a candidate who's probably not going to be around in 60 days. I'm going to come back here to Bao Mua. I'm sorry, I'm butchering your name. Listen, I got one of those names. I feel for you. He said most people don't like to work for federal jobs. Yeah, I don't think that's a strong response though. I mean, I don't see why he keeps saying that. I don't know why he keeps saying that people don't want to work for the government. I don't even know where that's coming from. I think people love to work for the government, but okay. But I really don't think people care. I think people are just happy to have a job and get paid a decent wage. So they'll work for whoever if the money's right. Yeah, Hezekiah Crocker. Yeah, I cannot believe Warren tried to say Social Security was basically automation. Yeah, that was just awful. I mean, they really let Warren speak on that one too, which was really bad for her because it lets you see how out of touch she was on the idea of automation, because they probably let her talk for like 2.5 minutes straight. And she sounded like Joe Biden. She was drowning. She was just like, well, that's why I got Social Security. Social Security is going to address your wife not working because we're going to give her credit. So then when she retires, she can retire with dignity. Or we can give her a check every month, one or the other. Andrew is the best. His ideas. Yeah. Let's see. Earned income tax credit is something that's already happening. It is. Yeah. She's going to, I guess, expand it. But I thought that would have made more sense for them to put those two ideas together instead of letting it be the federal jobs guarantee versus UBI. Because, again, I don't think those two ideas are mutually exclusive, even though, and especially Yang has never specifically said that he's opposed to the federal jobs guarantee. Help. Oops, I'm sorry. My bad, YouTube. I'm surprised they didn't say, "Hey, Bernie, why are you no longer supporting UBI when you initially said it was kind of a decent idea?" They could have just thrown that in there. I mean, just pile it on, man. It's not free money. It's 1 second. Clayton Young says the government job thing is legit. Hey. Okay. I've never heard that response in the world. I'm not saying that it's not a good talking point or that people don't believe it. I've just never heard it. So, pardon my ignorance. But maybe when certain people hear it, that it resonates with them, so they know what it means. Like I said, there's certain things that you hear, you just know. Like with the with Elizabeth Warren saying, or with Yang pointing out that people seeing the self-checkouts and the automated kiosks and things like that will resonate with people who are out here in the streets. They know that that's what's happening. Work for the sake of working, even when machines can do the job. That is exactly what I would... So who is this? Osaka Nelson? Okay, so that's kind of where I'm looking at Yang to really take advantage and say, look, Bernie... Robots already do the job. Why are we going to give people jobs that don't need to exist just so they have something to do? That's pointless. Like, he was getting there. I just think that Yang was just early. I don't think he was really warmed up yet because he clearly got into a groove at a certain point. But I don't know. That maybe that question just came too soon. But like I said, this is probably the best you can really do in this format. I could just imagine having 150 policies in my head, some talking points, and then being told, all right, here's a question coming rapid fire, and you have 2 minutes to answer. Like, and I have to go against all of these other people. It's not one-on-one. It's you versus 11 other people. You all have different ideas, and you got to be very careful about what you say because they're going to be able to attack you. So that's probably difficult. You know what I mean? The View just dropped an Alyssa Milano clip talking about Andrew. Andrew Yang's on the rise after last night. He was sharp last night. I mean, that's the best it's getting. If he can't get to 10% off of last night, which I think he might already actually be at 10%, but I think we should start seeing some real movement in the polls after last night. Okay, so back to my talking points. 1 second. Okay, so we talked about the UBI jobs guarantee. We talked about automation, the tech companies being broken up. Yeah, and the final thing is Yang was able to bring new ideas. Again, I don't know why they had this debate. If I did not want Andrew Yang to do well, I would not have asked the questions that they asked last night. And they brought up that Andrew Yang wants to decriminalize opioids, which is something that I heard him say in a couple of interviews. I don't even think that that's on his website. I could be wrong, but I don't even think that no, I think it is on his website. But for them to bring up that Andrew Yang wants to decriminalize opioids on the stage in a debate against all of these other candidates who are not even talking about this idea, this is a dream. This is a dream. Andrew Yang went to bed a happy man last night because they brought that up. Yang, this is a softball for him. He blamed the government, as he should have. He talked about how what did he say? That they fined them $600 million or $60 million, $60 or $600 million or something like that. I mean, let's say 60. But he puts it into perspective that only accounts for 2%. That they got a 2% penalty on their $30 billion in profits. I mean, come on, man. Yang knows the game. He got the foundation. He's covering his policies from all angles. And now we're starting to see the method to his madness. Because he's been laying this out this whole time. He came out heavy with policies. Then he came out with the counters. And then he has a foundation. And now everything that he says, he's got a counter. There's a reason why he says what he says. I could not have been 600 million. Okay, they made 60 billion profits. All right, appreciate you guys. Appreciate your correction. Yeah, so these companies made $60 billion in profits, and they got fined 600 million. That's the number. Thank you. Is Tulsi going to endorse Yang if she drops out? I think there was another candidate who agreed with Yang's policy. Can't remember. I know that what's her name? Marianne Williamson, I believe, was supporting some of Yang's policies. I believe she was considering the idea of a UBI, but she kind of disappeared. So, but will Tulsi endorse Yang? You know what? I would have said no, but last night Tulsi said, "You know what? I'm out of here." That's why she wore the white. She was like, "You know what? I'm done. I don't want to be a part of this party. I don't want to be a part of this farce anymore." I think she gave up, and she went out with a bang. So, shout out to Tulsi, man. She's big ups to her. High respect to her for what she did last night. She's just a stand-up chick, man. I hope that in the fifth debate he discusses drug abuse and mental health issues. Possibly go over the American scorecard. Swing voters love. You guys are talking about Castro. Castro supported UBI, and Williamson, yeah. He helped out Warren. The first thing that will come out of his mouth is she's correct, and she will give his opinion, and the solution is subliminal. You can't keep complimenting your opponent. Tom, all the voters who remember is that Andrew Yang even said she's somewhere right. You know what, Tom? I'm gonna disagree with you slightly. I do get what you're saying regarding complimenting the opponent, but that was actually one of the criticisms that I had. But I also as I was writing that as a criticism, I started thinking about how many times Andrew Yang would use the word fail or almost. Like he kept doing the subliminal thing with policy when he would talk about Warren. Like when he would say, I do kind of wish that at the end there when he was like, once again, Senator Warren is correct in diagnosing a problem. I wish he had took it a little bit further and said, but falls short. But he did keep pointing out failed when he was talking about. He was saying these ideas that we're looking at from these other nations, and how these are failed policies that they have. Why would we be adopting their failed policies? I feel like he was definitely intentionally using certain language. Yes, he was kind of complimentary, but he didn't want to fall into the fray because you saw last night. Last night was a bloodbath, man. I mean, they were out there last night. It was pretty brutal last night. So, but yeah, he definitely was gentle. But man, Yang is just a smooth operator, man. He really. I almost questioned whether or not Yang wanted to win until last night. Last night was a coming out party. Yo, appreciate the super chat. I got 4 dislikes because of the 4th DNC. Warren mentioned Social Security credits of $200 along some. Yeah, Warren was all over the place, man. Warren was looking like Joe Biden out there last night. Castro did say he would pilot UBI. Yeah. I like Tulsi a lot. Tulsi was looking like a whole snack last night. I'll tell you that right now. She's a looker. Yang is smooth, man. From a couple of Bernie vids I've watched, big time Bernie fans are completely dismissive of Yang. Listen, it's okay if they're dismissive of Yang. I am not this person who is so optimistic that I'm blind to reality. I believe that I heard that the biggest indicator on whether or not someone can win the presidency is like height or something like that. We're just primal, man. We just do the same things we always do. But Yang's opportunity is kind of what's happening right now. I don't know why the questions that were asked last night were asked. They gave Yang an opportunity to really set himself apart. Then you have the opportunity that's presented by Bernie having his issue. Obviously, he looked very strong last night. He looked healthy, and that's fine. But people are still going to have this thing in the back of their mind like, ooh, I don't know about him as a president for 4 years. Biden, same thing. Look, Biden he just doesn't seem all the way there. Like, it's not like he's not coherent or he's aloof. He doesn't seem sharp. And people are seeing that. And the longer they let him talk last night, the more you could see that Biden just did not seem sharp. He just had to, every time he would say something, he would get about halfway through the sentence and then he'd start back over and rephrase or restate facts, or it was bad. And you see the media is not even picking on him anymore. But like, I think maybe a month and a half ago, that's all you would see is they were pointing out all the little fumbles that he would have with his words. Now they're not even doing that. They're just like, look, let's let him talk. To the point where he doesn't even talk. He literally doesn't do a bunch of interviews. So Yang's opportunity is happening right now. Last night was the best we could hope for. You know, Warren is rising. And they're going to say that she won the debate, and that's fine. But I know people are starting to think, that Yang guy. And, you know, over the last week in talking to people, which I've definitely been doing, the one thing I hear consistently is that people don't think that Andrew Yang can win. And I'm about to try to think of different ways to state that. Because I believe that if people thought Andrew Yang could win, a lot more people would be pushed towards him. Because I heard a couple of people tell me last week that if they could vote for anybody and all things were fair, then they would vote for somebody completely different than they actually support. Somebody said they would vote for Mayor Pete if they thought that he had a fair shot. He does have a fair shot. He just can't win. But and I've heard that from a couple of people. So I think that that is a message that really needs to be put out, that Andrew Yang clearly has a real shot at winning. But yeah, man, I don't think it's Sanders. I mean, you saw Sanders get up there. What did he do? Sanders attacked Elizabeth Warren. Was it yesterday, 2 days ago? Calling her he called her a capitalist as an insult. You're not winning saying stuff like that. That's like O'Rourke saying he's going to confiscate guns. Like, no, you don't. You can't say things like that. If that's your big strong attack, he's not winning. So we don't have to say anything negative about any other candidate. I want to remain in good graces with all the other camps. I like Cory Booker's trying to be diplomatic all the time. That's fine. But when Booker fans are looking for somebody to support, we got them. They can come get under the umbrella. What was Yang's surprise? Did I miss it? Was Yang surprised the live chat? Oh, voter questions for 10 hours straight? Yeah. I hate to ask, but what did you say about Yang's body language? At times, he looked like he was bored or agitated. I didn't see enough of his body language outside of when he was speaking, so I can't say. I'm not going to lie to you. The only thing I didn't like about his body, well, I won't say didn't like. He did look irritated at Senator Warren when she was going on her diatribe about UBI and Social Security and she's just, her not being sure if automation is real. He definitely looked like I'm about to hop over there. But other than that, man, no complaints. 1 second. Probably nervous. I don't want to work for the government. Yes, we should all show up to Mr. Yang's 10-hour stream. No, we shouldn't show up to his stream. We should send other people to his stream who have questions, who don't know why they should vote for him. Tom Steyer will buy Yang's VP position. He probably will. Loved his comparison on the wealth tax. Yeah, man, he crushed, man. Biden sounds like a skipping wreck. He seems not to want to burn bridges. Hopefully that will translate to people shifting from other candidates to Yang rather than dunking. He lets the policy speak. Yeah, I mean, I think that was wise. I think Yang really toed the line. I mean, he was smart. He was effective. And like I said, this is the best performance you could hope for. I mean, this is like doing gymnastics. You only get one shot to do it. You got to nail it, every little part of it. And it's not going to be perfect, but this is as close to perfect as you can get. Like, I can't imagine someone doing much better than this. I think it's very elitist to assume millions of displaced factory workers and college grads want to work for the government. I don't know what that means, want to work for the government. I mean, I guess I don't get it. Maybe I'm just a different kind of guy. I don't care about who I work for. I just want the bag. I'm here for the money, but I understand. Let people do what they want to do. Don't tell people what they should do. Yeah, for sure. I mean, but if you're working for the government doing what you want to do, are you going to complain? Or are we just talking about working for the government in general? Colin Smith, yeah. Warren's questioning life. Oh, man. Yeah, what's it? To China? To China? Thai China? I'm so sorry. Yeah, I don't think he was given the opportunity to respond after Warren spoke about Social Security. But I think that the audience is the real judge. I think that anyone who heard that response was probably looking at her like, what are you talking about? It didn't come off like she was informed or even that she had a response. It literally sounded like she was just talking. It was very, very weak. In order for Yang to grow, we need to change the titles of Yang's YouTube videos. Yes, you're absolutely right, Tom. Tom is absolutely right. That's actually, yeah, that's the thing. That's a real thing. I wish Yang would say in one swoop the federal jobs guarantee and free college policies are great ideas, but they do not benefit everybody but the freedom dividend. That would be a great way to start talking about things. Watch 1984. We're living in 1984. What you talking about? When I hear government worker, I think of cogs. Government work doesn't require a lot of imagination. Yeah. Did you see the post-debate fact checks? I did not yet. I haven't. Whenever I talk about something, I don't consume any content because I want my opinion to be just clear. But yes, now that I'm doing this video, I will dive into some other articles. And yes, there's definitely a bunch of things I want to check out. There's a bunch of people, I believe, who are putting Yang as a winner in the debate, which is really good news. So I didn't read the articles, but I did see his name pop up a couple of times. We don't have meal prep open. Oh man. I mean, just say, hey, Bernie, give me one of those federal job guarantee jobs. What are they? Are we talking about assistant to the garbage man, or you like what are these jobs? What are the industries that these jobs are gonna be placed in? Like, why do we need free college if you're just gonna give people a federal job, or if you're gonna give people a jobs guarantee? Like, I think there's just so much more that Yang could pick apart, and maybe I think part of it is he doesn't want to like talk about how horrible a policy is, or he doesn't want to be combative, but I just don't love his response on that, man. Will Yang finally see a solid bump in the polls? Listen, if he don't get one now, then he ain't getting one, because this is the best he could possibly do. If he doesn't get one earned, then he'll get one eventually, but it'll be because someone drops out. So, I mean, who's going to be next? Castro is probably gone, right? He didn't do anything last night. So, he's probably gone. The donors are going to leave. They're going to be like, there's no reason to stick around here. Let's move my money to somewhere where I think somebody can actually win. O'Rourke, he's probably out of here. Harris might stick around a little bit longer. But can I guarantee you that? No, I can't. I make no guarantees, my friend. Yang, Tulsi in 2020, that can't happen. Do you see? I bet Tulsi's phone is going crazy right now. Let's see. Warren couldn't make a comeback about the world. Oh, Warren was. She was not looking good last night. Didn't the federal jobs just go through like it? Let me read that again. Didn't the federal jobs just go through like it pay because Donnie shut down the government? Why would I want a job where the press could stop my? Okay, there you go. That would be a good. All right, see, that's what there are really good, strong arguments against the federal jobs guarantee. I just don't feel like Yang is ever actually making them, but they're there. I would rather have $1,000 and do what I want to do, work rather than whatever the government has for me. Again, great response. I believe that's better than the one Yang keeps putting out. Wife gets a $200 raise in Social Security 50 years from now. That's a fantastic response. That's what I want to hear. Like, Yang should tweet that. He should tweet that right now. Somebody get Yang on the text him or tweet him or DM him or something. Like, yo, text that out. Or put that out. That's a good response. My wife thanks you. So Yang showed class in the response to Warren. He showed class and confidence. No need to be mean. You don't need to be mean when you're beating somebody like that, man. It's mercy. It's mercy. He did her a favor. He said, look, you got nothing from me. It's not even right for me to be bullying you. Bernie sees people as parts in the machine. Yang sees them as humans. Yeah. Yeah, he got to throw the humans word in there a couple of times. It's just, I respect a clear, independently formatted opinion. Shout out to yourself. Oh, not me. Not me. Listen, I'm just keeping it real, man. Look, I'm trying to view things the way anybody else would, because these are going to be the people I talk to. When I talk to somebody in the street, I got to have a response for why something doesn't make sense. And if there's one, cool, let's talk about that so I can be sharper. I can't imagine you saying that Warren won unless you just really love Warren. Am I going to do the UBI march this month? Oh, I don't know. Should I? When is it? Political Insider says Yang sucks. I agree with Yang. I like the spirit of federal jobs guarantee, but I just don't know it's the best choice. Honestly, the best option is a combo of the two. Again, I'm definitely open to that. The freedom dividend is just true freedom of choice, while federal jobs guarantee is equivalent to wage slavery. Yeah, yeah, man. Look, I'm a hard guy to please. All right, I've come on here. I've been critical. I've said things that I don't like about Yang. I said I didn't love every response he had last night. October 26th, we'll see what I can do. I think I have work, but we'll see. No, appreciate you, dude. Yeah, UBI March October. Yeah. I just wanted to shout out. I'm a former Trump supporter. Okay. All right, political insider. Listen. You're welcome here, man. It's okay. Look. Hey, yeah. Hold on. Listen, I could always bust it out. You know, we keep it in the back. It's in storage. It's a collector's item right now. But listen, I thought Donald was going to shake up some things, and he just let me down right now. So I gotta go with Yang right now. Yang is just very, very strong last night. Like I said, super impressed. This is the best he can do. You can't do better than that. The format, the time, the pressure. I mean, I can't be critical of what he did last night, and I can't ask any more. All I can ask is that the American people actually consider the words that the man is saying, consider the ideas, and realize that there might be something that we're not considering. And just listening to the way Yang answered questions, had responses, and knowing how his policies actually address the real concerns that people are facing, is like, even if you don't love him, you gotta like him a little bit. Come on, man. Come on, man. Listen. Yang don't have all the answers, but he's the first person who I've ever seen who I actually believe will go out and seek them. Like, he really wants to help people out. All right. I don't think he would even mention UBI if he didn't think that there was something there. And there are legitimate criticisms of everything Andrew Yang says, but they refuse to bring them up because they don't even have like legitimate supports for him. They're not even sure they believe what they're saying. It's scary, man. I'm starting to think that maybe Andrew Yang is right about everything that he says. Former Republican Party is going. He wants to give me a G a month. I'm in. Don't, because Joe Biden was going down before the debate. And if anything, having 12 DNC members of the debate is only going to split the party more. Let me get that. In the second debate, they said they wanted to join forces to beat Trump. And the only candidate I think they can rally behind is Mr. He's the only one. Like, really look at that stage. Who do you really believe is beating Donald Trump? There's only one. You might like somebody else more, but you don't think that they can actually beat Donald Trump. You don't think Elizabeth Warren can beat Donald Trump. You might just like her. You don't think Joe Biden can beat Donald Trump. Are you kidding me? You remember the whole impeachment inquiry? Where'd that come from? Sanders? Nothing against Sanders, man. He's the father of many of these ideas. He's just not winning. That doesn't mean that he's not a good dude. That doesn't mean that he doesn't have good ideas. He's just not going to win. So if it's about you just want to win, pick the guy who can actually win. If it's about you want the guy who has the best ideas, go with Andrew Yang. If you want the guy who's got the ideas that are future proof, go with Andrew Yang. Like, he's the answer. He is the way. There's still 80+% are not voting yet. We need to spread the Yang game. Look, man, people are busy. People are living life. They don't have time to be involved in this campaign. So we got to maintain the momentum. We got to keep the energy up. We got to keep the enthusiasm so that by the time these people come trickling in late next year, you know what I mean, right before the election, the week before, it hasn't faded. We've brought in a whole new group of people who are willing to carry the torch. I mean, I'll probably be burnt out in 2 months, you know? Sanders has done his job. It's time for Yang's yacht to continue. I'm going to pass out joints at the mass pardon on 420. That's a good idea. Yeah, man. I need somebody to send me some money so I can do some things. I want to do some big things. I need money. Like, I keep seeing people do these giveaways. They're giving away hot dogs, and that's a good thing to do. Like, I would love to just give away hot dogs to passersby to try to get some support. I think just giveaways, man. Giveaways is like a great idea. We need money. Andrew, send us some of that money back, man. You ain't running no ads. Send us some of that bread back. Or send out some of those big banners. Let's send out those big banners that you put over the highway. Sanders could have won in 2016, but not now. Warren stole his momentum. Yeah. Well, you know, the thing that I think really is hurting Sanders is that he aligned himself with Elizabeth Warren so aggressively in 2016 that now people who aren't paying attention think that they're the same person. But she's the woman. Warren sung for me. Hot dogs. I mean, you know, hot dogs at the they're doing hot dogs at the baseball game, or like, you know, just whatever kind of cheap food you can give away, popsicles and things like that. You know what hot dogs are made of, me. You are right, fam. I didn't say I was gonna eat them. I just said I'd give them away. Don't tell your friends, tell your grandma. That's who gets called in the polls. Man. Yeah, I really do wonder if they even mention Andrew Yang's name when these people call, because I've been called for a couple of polls. I mean, I don't think they were national polls. I think they were probably other candidates' polls, but his name doesn't come up. I'll tell you that. Tulsi Gabbard left. Man. Listen, shout out to Tulsi, man. She's doing her thing. Open a GoFundMe for a billboard in L.A. Warren straight up said she doesn't think automation is a thing. Andrew could have wrecked. He didn't have to say anything. She embarrassed herself on that response. She had nothing. She had nothing coherent to say, and they let her speak. They didn't interrupt her. Nobody raised their hand. Yang didn't say anything. They just said, you know what? Go ahead. Tell everybody about Social Security and how that's the same thing as UBI. Another Trump scandal backfired on leftists. T-shirt and pop socket on Amazon. Budget sound comedy. All right, I guess I got to put an order in on Amazon. Let's see. I'm going to look it up real quick. Shout out. Appreciate you for the super chat. Let's see what you want me to order. I'm searching exactly what you put in. T-shirt and pop socket. What the heck is a pop socket? Oh, is that what the things you put on your phone? Oh, Google Yank. Is this it? I'm doing a Casey Neistat with no autofocus. After the debate, it came out that Biden spent more than he raised. Biden's going into debt. He really want to win. Voting for Warren. I can't wait for the extra $200 for my Social Security. Please remind people to register as Democrat. Absolutely. Yes. Matter of fact, that's super important. You guys have to remind people. Because I was doing the text banking. I think I mentioned this before, but I was doing text banking and I was talking to one of the people who's in charge. And they were saying, I was like, why aren't we telling people they need to register for the primary? And they're like, oh, we can't say that. I guess they can't be working for a campaign and telling people about registering to vote or for the primary or whatever. So it is up to us to make sure that people are registering for the primary. Like I said, we're my area, man. We're not out here the way I feel like we should be. We're not aggressive. I see all of the other cities. I see you guys are out. I'm proud of you. You guys are crushing all of the cities. Y'all just be having events. You just hanging out. You're having a good old time. We out here looking real sparse. We struggling. So look, man, get your boy on the road. I'll come wherever you guys are. What's my Twitter? My Twitter is 5294freedom. I will put it in right now. Okay. Biden did jump in for Yang on automation in Tulsi. Yang Gang event in California. See, California is far. Who will DNC and CNN pick as the Democratic nominee since Democrats have no voice? I mean, they're picking Warren, clearly. Black Americans are leaving the Democratic plantation. Agreed. We need some Texas. I'll come to Texas. I will come to Texas. Tell Andrew to come to Texas. I'll be there. Preferably Dallas. Yang totally should be sending text messages to request donations daily. Yes, why doesn't Yang have a text thing? You know, there's so I do like marketing. There's like all these little texting apps, man. You can text people. You can text me right now. People can actually text you. We're leaving the Dems and the Republicans and moving forward. Yo, let's do it. I'm a Texan voting for Mr. Yang. There you go. Yeah, they've made their choice. They're definitely going with Warren. I don't know why. I still don't see the appeal. Well, okay, fine. We'll say she's decent, whatever. I don't see her winning. Isn't that all that matters? Isn't all that matters that she's supposed to be able to win? Well, she can't win. So let's get off of that. I got a lot of emails from Mr. Yang instead of text, but he also strong following on Instagram and Twitter. I didn't know he was on Instagram. We're leaving. We do text banking if that counts. Yeah, text banking counts. All right. Yeah, we got some new Twitter followers. I'm trash on Twitter, but I'll try. Y'all here in Miami? Hey, yo, send your boy to Miami. Tulsi did attack Warren, just not aggressively. CNN colluded with DNC and HRC to destroy Bernie. Yeah, wasn't Tulsi a part of that, though? Wasn't Tulsi working for the DNC at the time? Wasn't Harris there? Warren will keep things the same as they are. Her policies make little, yeah. She will flat out lose and ask her 2 questions to shut her down in Birmingham. Oh, yeah. Come to Houston. Ooh, Houston far. Yeah, wherever Yang is going to be, that's where I'm trying to be. He keeps going to places that are far from me, and I got to be able to get back home. Do stock banking. I don't know what stock banking is. I know what text banking is. West Palm Beach. Ah, man, you guys are all in the exotic locations. Who will be the perfect VP for Yang? Look, but he's got to go establishment. I don't know who, but he's got to go establishment. But you know what? I won't even say that. He doesn't have to go establishment. If Yang gets to the point where he's actually about to be the nominee, America looks very different. It is radically different. So you know what? He can go with whoever he wants, man. I will definitely say that. If he gets to that point where he's talking about a VP, then he can say whatever he wants. He can pick whoever he wants, because that means people have accepted his ideas despite them being radically different than what we have right now. November 1 in Iowa. That's 15 days away. Hold on. Do I have something on November 2nd? Let me see. October. November 2nd. Oh, yeah, I have something on the 2nd. Yep, 2nd and 3rd. I got a conference. You're doing it on Robinhood. What? Oh, that's dope. If Warren can barely handle the attacks from DNC, there's no way in heaven she can survive. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's going to be nasty, man. What if Yang's VP, brace yourself, was The Rock? I mean, I'm just imagining Yang is up there. He's at a regular doing his stump speech, and then he says, "I'd like to announce my VP," and then you hear The Rock's music come on, and he comes down. He hits the top turnbuckle. He throws up the people's eyebrow. Everyone's going crazy. I mean, would that not be electrifying? Would that not be fantastic? I think it's a possibility, man. I think non-traditional, that could work. I think grassroots started stock bank. Parrot Pete, I guess, since he copies everything from Andrew. Man, I did not expect The Rock. Of course, like, I mean, he said if Donald Trump's the scissors, then he's The Rock, right? I mean, that's all I thought he was talking about. I was like, oh, you mean The Rock? Of course. Yeah, man, if you smell what The Rock is cooking, that would be ill. But yeah, man. So yeah, what videos you guys want to see, man? Or what videos you guys think will help us to reach out? Because like now is the time, right? Now is the time. We got to start reaching out to people who are on the fence, and there's a lot of those people. There's a lot of things that Yang can address, and I think there's specific videos for that. And again, I've been talking to people at the street level, and people want to hear that Andrew Yang can win. They want to hear that he's doing well. They want to hear his success. They want to hear UBI visceral no. They want something besides that. But again, the people who I've been talking to, they seem informed. So if they're not pro Yang, then they're for somebody else and they're not wavering. So I think the opportunity is everybody else, the people who are just not paying attention right now. Elaboration on his nuanced health policy. Yeah, I need him to elaborate on that myself. Like, I don't think his health policy is fully vetted, or like he's not hitting all the points. He's not really laying out as well as he could. But, you know, I'm not mad. He's got a lot. The Rock gives the rock bottom to Pence in the VP debate. Oh my! Can you imagine? You guys want some quotables? Let the Rock get up there. Come on, man. This guy give you a whole hour and a half of quotables. I want you. Pass flyers. Yo, y'all be trying to play me. Hold on. We got flyers on deck, man. We got not left, not right, not forward. Oh, wait, not left, not right, forward. We got those. Then we got, I want you to have $1,000. We got flyers. I'm out here, man. I told you I'm in these streets. I'm not just on the internet, man. Listen, I'm not no commentator. All right? I'm a doer. Trump converts video. I think there's a big portion of the population that are still not checked, and they're not going to be. My concern about those people are that it's so early that getting them to even register to be a part of the primary is going to be a challenge. Like, I almost feel like we should wait until right before the primary, like the day before, and be like, hey, I need you to come on down to this thing and do the sleepover, and I'll take you to the primary in the morning. Elon Musk is not. I don't want Elon Musk to be the VP of a country. Okay, Elon Musk has far more important work to do, getting us to Mars. I don't want him wasting his time being VP. He done gave up on this planet already. What if we volunteer to help the homeless and hand out free Yang merch? So the problem with that for me is that homeless people can't vote in my state unless they have an address. Or they've previously registered with an address. Bernie looked confused last night after Yang ripped apart the federal judge. I don't know, man. I think Bernie was a little irritated, but I don't think that response was particularly strong, so I don't think Bernie was really worried. It's the same thing with Yang. Like, the policy has legitimate criticisms. I just don't think he really got to him. But Elon could be head of the department. Elon is an engineer. I want him engineering. I do not want him doing no paperwork. I don't want him doing no conferences. I don't want him meeting. I don't want to see Elon Musk. I want him to show up every 24 months, give me some new technology, and then go back into his bunker doing what he does best. Elon Musk just needs an endless supply of money so he can fund whatever he wants to do. I don't want him out here talking to regular people. TYT said Bernie. I can't read that. AOC the squad. That's not a win. Okay. A guy yesterday did a great video on what to say to greet purple to Yang. Okay, I'll look that up. What do you think? Yeah, that's I mean, that's a big deal, I suppose. But I still think Bernie's in. I don't think Bernie can win. Okay, listen, I'm just gonna be honest. I don't think he can win. You cannot say I'm a socialist and think you're going to be president of the United States. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. Bernie said no 3 times. He did say no 3 times. Elon can be charged. Listen, Elon Musk doesn't. He's an engineer, man. He's a worker. He's just really good at what he does. His work just happens to be very, very important. I don't want him doing nothing else. I don't want him in charge of no Space Force. I don't want him talking to nobody. Listen, I don't want to see Elon Musk. I don't even want to know what he's doing. I just assume that he's doing good things. Hopefully he doesn't make any mistakes. I don't need any like Ninja Turtles or any kind of crazy backwards experiments or superheroes being created. But yeah, man, just let Elon do his thing. The squad is too polarizing. Might not be a good endorsement. Oprah for VP? Ugh, jeez, come on, man. That was a joke. Elon is a national treasure, man. Yeah, man. But what if Trump gets Steve Austin to be his vice? If Trump gets Steve Austin, it is over. There is nobody who's going to touch him then. Like, can you imagine? Imagine The Rock comes out, and then you hear the glass shatter and Stone Cold comes down? What? Oh, it's over, man. Let's see. Good question. And do you think that the endorse will make a difference in Bernie's polls? It doesn't seem like it's going to make a difference to me because it's the people who are paying attention have already made up their minds. I don't think anyone's paying attention right now because they're getting ready for next November. I think the people who are paying attention right now are just watching to see how it goes down, or because they're watching a candidate who isn't the front runner, or because they're really excited about the person they're voting for. I'm not going to pay attention for next basketball season a year in advance. Like, no. We're officially an idiocracy. John Cena. I heard Yang has a 7% chance of winning the primary. I think if he gets accepted for primary, he can win. I think the primary will be more difficult for Mr. Yang. Yeah, the primary is more difficult. I mean, there's 1 billion people running. It's definitely difficult, especially to try to stand out. But if he can, he just needs to survive right now. I'm not banking on him jumping up to 22% or 15% tomorrow. What I need to happen is Castro to fall out. I need Harris to fall out. I need Booker to fall out. I need those people to not just jump to Warren and consider that their candidate lost because of ideas. And then after they do that, maybe consider that Andrew Yang has some ideas that might be beneficial. Because those people dropping out is going to leave a void. But we don't want those people to just go to Elizabeth Warren. And I think a lot, again, I've talked to people. The people who I've spoken to, a lot of them just don't think that Andrew Yang can win. And that is a big problem because people are going to vote. They don't want to feel like their vote is going to waste. So they have to know that there's a chance. So there has to be an overwhelming positivity around Andrew Yang's name. Like I said, he's getting a lot of press coverage. They're not really being as dismissive as they had before, so that's good. But yeah, we got to get it to the point where people are like, "Oh yeah, it's anybody's race." Like, we're not hearing it's anybody's race just yet. Mistakes and moves could be made. I think it's still anyone's game. Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean it's still anyone's game, but I don't think that the people who are looking to vote are paying attention and they don't know who to vote for. I think the people who are paying attention know who they're voting for, or they're not paying attention at all. And if you're not paying attention at all, yes, your vote is still up for grabs, but it's not up for grabs until next year. In the meantime, I need a lot of people to fall out. That's going to open up more opportunity for Yang. But it's got to be the right people. I mean, the big person dropping out that would help out Yang would be Bernie Sanders. Because Harris voters aren't going to Yang. Okay. So that's kind of the problem. Like, the right people have to drop out. So many people are undecided. Oh, yeah. You're absolutely right. Yeah, we need, like I said, we need overwhelming positivity around Andrew Yang. That's really the big thing that I was actually shocked how many people told me that they just didn't feel like he could win. But I will say this: a lot of people said he has some interesting ideas. So they're intrigued. I think we just really got to open up the whole buffet of ideas that Andrew Yang has outside of UBI. And like last night, unbelievably, he was given an opportunity to display all of these wonderful ideas like decriminalizing opioids. I don't know why that even came up, but they threw it out there. So thank you. Thank you, whoever put this debate. They didn't make it easy to watch, but they set my man up with some nice questions. So I cannot complain about the debate, other than it being difficult to watch and it being 3 hours long. He was really, they set him up, man. They really did. I was hoping Tulsi would have said yesterday, "I'm dropping out and joining Yang campaign." Oh, man. Yang is trending positively. More coverage in MSN. Yeah. Listen, I think everyone else's fear of being exposed is hurting them right now. Yang is willing to do those shows, and everyone else is not. And it's showing. Like, they can't dig anything up on him, right? He doesn't have a huge past. He doesn't have a political past, obviously, right? And then he's getting up there and he's saying things, and he's not blowing it in these interviews. Like, he's in long form interviews. I'm gonna say something foolish in 35 minutes, okay? Yang is crushing, I imagine, in 1 hour interviews, and they're not getting anything on him. So at a certain point, it's like, okay, look, we can't gotcha the guy. So what are we gonna do? Like, maybe he's that good. Andrew made all those questions possible. Exactly. This is mastery. You disagree? Bernie can stay in. Yang has lots of demos, but I could be wrong. I mean, yeah. Okay, Bernie can stay in, but can he win? I wouldn't be surprised if Tulsi is already linked up with Yang. They've been friendly on Twitter. He does have a chance to win. He's trending upwards, which is good. But I would not be surprised if he runs again in 2024. 1,000 for the homies every month will be coming to me. Biden may try to grab him for VP. Sounds odd, but makes sense. Biden is honestly worried about automation and cannot. Biden is not worried about automation. I don't even know why Biden wants to be president. I think he just wants to be president because he was vice president. Honestly, he's bringing nothing to the table. His public speaking is so relaxed and conversational, isn't it? This is the first time I've been pumped after the debates. Oh yeah, man. Listen, I was in there, man. I was really excited. Andrew is Eminem on 8 Mile last rap battle. Yeah. You look around and Yang is the dude to navigate automation. Biden will not. Biden won't win. He will not. I mean, I'm surprised Biden's not catching more of a backlash for being involved in the impeachment proceedings. I'm surprised Biden wasn't asked about his son's dealings, really. Like, he's skating on this, man. That's what I'm saying. He's not doing these interviews. If Yang was in the same position that Biden's in, and he was doing these interviews, it would not be good for him. But Yang's doing all these interviews. They're talking strictly about policy. He's got great ideas. There are no real major flaws in it. So you have to actually attack his plans, which is very difficult to do because his plans actually work. And they're grounded in like that humanity first approach and that, okay, you can say it's not good for business, but you can't say it's not good for the people. And what's your goal? Are you trying to help out people, or are you just trying to make some extra cash? This is the third debate I've ever watched from start to finish. Biden still believes in locking up marijuana offenders. Mr. Yang was also a professional debater before. Yes, he was. Obama has helped his campaign and many endorsed him later on again. And Nicolas Cage loves UBI. We're taking shots every time Andrew got a question. I was sober. It's Warren or Yang, and Warren is not honest. I don't think the Warren not honest is going to hurt her. Unless they go on until the general. In the general, it will hurt her. As far as getting the nomination here, I think she'll be fine. It'll be Hillary Clinton all over again. Trump is not going to be as kind. So that's the issue. They're holding back. And I would say it got a little dirty last night, and they were holding back. Trump is not going to hold back at all. He's already president. He's already being investigated for impeachment. Like, he don't care. He's got nothing to lose. Like, the thing about Trump, and I think I even said this, I don't think I said it on this channel. You can't try to impeach somebody like him because he might have not wanted to be president, but now that you try to take it from him, he's going to be mad. Now he's like, oh, no, I can't leave now. They should have told him, look, you're such a good president. We want to give you a special place as Emperor of the United States. You have no power, but you get a castle out here, and you got nothing to do, and we're just gonna let you retire from being president right now because you're so good at what you do. Like, you got to make him feel good. You can't, no. He don't like the way this feels. So now he's gonna go hard. Like, he probably don't even want to be reelected. Now he wants to win. You got an email from Tom Stayer? I did too. Yeah, I responded to his Facebook post, and he's like, "Hey, thanks for responding. let's what does this thing say? Thanks for responding. You got a moment for a few more questions? No. If I have the chance, I'm commuting my UBI to the federal debt because America's only been out of debt for 2 years after Andrew's birth. Yeah. Trump does not want to go against Yang in a debate. He does not want to do that. Warren talks about filibustering. Yes, she stretched out in her debates. Oh, man. Bernie is not endorsing. Okay, Bernie will endorse him if he wins. I don't care if you endorse him after he beats you. I want you to endorse him before. That's not really endorsement. That's just falling in line. Now that people are beginning to make endorsements, it would be huge if Obama's not doing it. Obama's endorsement carries too much weight. He can't just be throwing that thing around. Biden is paying the corporate media to shut up about his corruption. Maybe he is. The part where he tried to come back to the $200 of extra Social Security was extremely weak and compared to the $1,000 UBI. Everyone currently not getting on social media going, what? Yeah, I mean, look, all Yang's got to do is do the math, man. Like, look, let's take that $100 and do some compounded interest, and here's how much money you would have over the 40 of years of working versus your $200 a month you're going to get in Social Security. Like, it's a no-brainer, man. Like, what are you talking about? Did I see Warren's post-debate interview where she was pressed on Medicare? I did not. Warren is paper, Trump's a scissor, Yanks. That's the positive of Steyer. He can't talk individually for hours. Every supporter, both of them. Both of them. Trump would have nothing to say. Oh, yeah. My white brother-in-law, he feels that all poor people of color don't know how to spend money. You know, look at the field. Only Andrew. Reverse psychology. Yeah, you got to reverse psychology, Trump, man. You done made him mad. It was clear he didn't want to be president. It was clear he wanted to be president when he won. Like, this is not what he wanted to do with his time. He's stuck. So he's doing his businesses the way he shouldn't be. You know, he's making government employees stay at his hotels to try to get his cake up. But he wants to get back out in the streets, man. He wants to go sell some books and some real estate courses, and now his name recognition is up. And now it's to his detriment at this point, but it's not where a man wants to be. But when now that they're challenging him, he can't go out like that. Oh, there are lots of bad choices to take on Andrew Trump. Then there's Andrew Yang. Yeah, Warren's post-debate interview. I'll take a look at that. Warren's post-debate interview. Well, yeah, I just don't think that trying to discredit Warren for... I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the strategy is to knock Warren down. You know what I mean? I think, Yang, like I said, did a really good job, differentiated himself, shows that her stuff is ineffective. I don't think that her supporters are going to back off of her, though. I think for her, it has to be that she can't win. Make all thoughts hate. I was happy Pete pushed Warren and said no, but I'm not referencing. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're going to check out that post-debate Medicare. Warren was asked for 11 minutes, and in words of Mayor Pete, she couldn't give a yes or no answer to yes or no. Yeah. But see, that's what I'm saying. That she's done that multiple times. It doesn't hurt her. But I don't know if it's not hurting her because there's no one else to go to, or if it's not hurting her because she's Teflon. I think it's just that there's nowhere to go. Like, people don't feel like anybody else can win. That's why they need to think that Andrew Yang can win. That's not my dog. That is not my dog. Somebody's dog is attacking the mailman. Her wealth tax will fail. Yes. Yeah, I mean, that's it. That's it, though. I feel like I've covered everything I wanted to say, man. This was, like I said, just a really, really strong performance. Yang covered all bases. He did three things that I really was excited. Differentiated himself from the other candidates, showed that other people's policies were ineffective, and introduced new ideas. These are opportunities that I really was not expecting the moderators to give him, but they did. And in doing so, I feel like this is the best possible outcome for Andrew Yang in a debate. He wasn't just asked questions about other people's policies. He was asked questions that allowed him to introduce his own and explain why they're better than others. He didn't nail every single question the way I would have liked. I do think he fumbled a little bit on the Sanders UBI versus federal jobs guarantee. But overall, I mean, we're talking like I give him a 93 out of 100. Like, and you're going Wolf Blitzer tonight. Okay. Oh man. So yeah, that's it, man. Thank you guys for coming out. Like I said, I might not. I'll probably do a different video. I'll probably break down these individual responses. Like I said, I really enjoyed this debate, and his responses were so good. I think they deserve and warrant a separate response. And I think these are good because they put him in a position where he can really state his ideas, comparing them to other candidates. And I think there's an area for other people to get some additional information out of it when I really build those out and start talking about the policies behind everything. So thank you all for joining me. It's been real. You guys are the real MVPs. Remember, we have to get Yang's message out for him. There are things that he can't say, and that's up to us. We got to remind the people in our communities that they have to vote in the primary if we want Andrew Yang to actually be on the debate or on the ballot in November. And he really does. He's got a chance of winning this thing, man. He's really trending up. So now's the time. You know what I mean? You figure deal me? So you guys have a great afternoon. Go do your work, do what you do. I'm gonna get ready to put some good content together for you guys for later on. You guys have a great afternoon. Thank you and good afternoon. Peace.